Hi, I'm Andrew Connell. I wanted to take a minute and tell you a little bit about my workshop at the upcoming conference. This workshop is for those of you who want to get up to speed on the SharePoint framework. Now, the SharePoint framework is the way of extending SharePoint, both in SharePoint Online, in SharePoint in 2019, and in SharePoint 2016. While there's lots of other frameworks that are available to us, the SharePoint framework is the recommended way to extend SharePoint these days. So what are you going to learn in this workshop? Now, my understanding or my expectation is that people who are attending this workshop don't have much experience with the SharePoint framework, or you have very little experience. If you are just a standard web developer who's done some client-side stuff, or you've got some experience with SharePoint development, doing server-side solutions with farm solutions or add-ins, that's quite all right. That's exactly who I'm targeting this for. If you've got a lot of experience with the SharePoint framework, you're not going to get a lot from this. The idea here is to get people in a full day, in this full day workshop, up to speed on the SharePoint framework. We're going to start out by first getting your developer environment up and running. I'm going to show you all the steps on all the tools that you need, explain what these tools do, how you use these tools, what you need in order to make them work. And then I'm going to show you how some of the tools you can just completely ignore. You install it, totally forget about it. And then we're going to dive into the SharePoint framework. We're going to talk about creating web parts. We're going to talk about creating extensions. We're going to see how to get data inside of your application, either from the SharePoint REST API or using the Microsoft Graph, or how we can even talk to third-party REST APIs that are secured with Azure AD or those that are anonymous. We'll also talk about how we can leverage external libraries and understand how we can best build a web component or a web application inside using the SharePoint framework as a web part or as an extension. We're going to learn how to do that the right way, in a very performant way, so that we don't build this gigantic application that contains all the libraries we need. Instead, we're going to make sure we reference things in the correct way. I'm going to show you how to do all of that stuff. We're going to cover a whole lot more as well. It's a really involved day. This workshop is not designed to be a hands-on workshop because it's just not feasible to have everyone trying to follow along and do all of the demos that I'm doing. But don't worry. You sit through the session, you're going to get all the slides, you're going to get all the code demos available that we're going to run through the entire day. And I really want you to sit back and relax and understand, really come there with some questions and some things that you want to accomplish, that you want to learn, so that by the end of the day, you know what the SharePoint framework is, if it is the right thing for your next project, what's involved in creating one of these things, and maybe what else you need to go learn, or maybe you already have everything you need to do. Maybe you got everything you needed out of that workshop. Whatever it is, I'm available there for you the entire day. You're going to get all the resources when you walk out. And if you got any questions, hey, we're there all day. I got all the time to answer all your questions throughout the day. I hope to see you there.